What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. Today, we're going to be catching up with our boy Tarble again. So here's a little refresher for the last part. We left off with everyone going to Earth after defeating Frieza, and we saw that Vegeta had a bit of a struggle. While he was proud of Tarble, he did feel a little bit inferior, feeling as if he's a liability if anything. He kept on training, and these feelings of jealousy and uselessness actually built up within him, allowing him to go Super Saiyan, very unexpectedly. Vegeta is now the top dog of the group, and after Trunks showed up and warned every one of the androids, they have to train in preparation of that. For this video, let's set a like goal of 2,500 likes, and once we hit that, I'll continue this scenario with another part. Anyways, let's pick up from here. Being led by Vegeta, the three Saiyans all have a bit of a friendly competition right now. Vegeta knows for a fact that he's the top dog around here, and he's not as angsty as he usually is. He's a lot more cooperative, especially with Tarble around. But, knowing Vegeta, this is going to inflate his ego a lot. He's the Super Saiyan, the only one. Well, Trunks also is, but he ignores that because Trunks isn't from this timeline. As far as Vegeta is concerned, he's the only one. He essentially coaches the group, feeling like he's in charge around here. All the while, Goku and Tarble are trying to unlock this form themselves, with Goku also trying to train Gohan, as well as the other humans and Piccolo training too. Although Vegeta already has Super Saiyan, he's actually still motivated to train. He's not going to slack off just because he has it. It's become very clear to Vegeta, Tarble and Kakarot will access this form. It's only a matter of time, and Vegeta's not going to let them get the jump on him. He definitely still is training. And he wonders, is there a form above this? I guess he'll have to see for himself. Through enough training, Tarble is eventually able to go Super Saiyan, before Goku even, slowly but surely catching up to Vegeta once again. Their rivalry is still going strong. As the 3-year training continues, Goku eventually follows suit, getting Super Saiyan for himself, with Gohan managing to actually get it by the end of the 3 years, only barely though. But Vegeta's actually found something pretty interesting. He's gone above Super Saiyan, and once the androids attack a few years later, he's about to show it off. They all head into the city searching for the androids, and they find android 19 and 20 there. So these must be the two androids that Trunks was talking about. They seem like weaklings. Android 19 steps up to the fight first, with Tarble being the one to take him on. Tarble has some issues at first because Android 19 is stealing his energy, but Tarble's not stupid. He can figure out a workaround pretty easily. And in terms of raw power, he's able to defeat Android 19. Gero is concerned and wants to escape, but Vegeta stops him. Yes, Tarble, Kakarot, and even Kakarot's son have Super Saiyan, and Tarble and Super Saiyan was enough for 19. He lets Gero in on a little secret. He's stronger than Tarble at the moment, and he knows something above Super Saiyan. He begins powering up, growing in both power and muscle. He calls this form of his Super Vegeta. And against someone like Gero at this point in the story, it's kinda overkill. He's not as strong as the Super Vegeta we see later on in the original series, because he didn't have the time chamber training, but regardless he's still really powerful, and too quick for Gero to escape from. With ease, he takes out the android. Problem solved then, right? It seems like everything's going good, and they can just wait for Trunks to show up. And then, Goku collapses, clutching his chest. Oh crap, they forgot about the heart virus. Well, the androids are defeated and they have the medicine for him, so they're assuming everything's all good anyways, they just need to take Goku home. As Gohan and Yamcha leave with Goku, Trunks then shows up and sees the remains of Android 19 and 20. These definitely aren't the androids from his timeline. I mean, just from those weird clothes he could tell. Those are some really weird outfits. It's good that they defeated these androids, but Trunks is still concerned. Why are there 2 other androids here? Where's 17 and 18? It doesn't take too long for them to figure out that Dr. Gero, Android 20, actually has a secret lab somewhere, thanks to Bulma's help. So they're going to track that down and hopefully that gives them some info. The search begins and it takes some time, but eventually the group does stumble upon the lab. And while Trunks was a bit nervous before, he's calmed down now because he sees the androids haven't been activated yet. Perfect. I mean, the group could have just tried to find the lab and destroy the androids before so they wouldn't have to even worry about it. But you know what? This is fine too. They could still destroy them here before they're activated. They look around the lab and find some blueprints and other things, as Vegeta, Trunks, and Tarble blow up the pods for 17 and 18, as well as one marked 16. But from another part of the lab, Krillin screams for them to come here. He's found something kinda concerning. Another project at Gero is called Cell. It definitely isn't complete yet, but still. Does this mean one of these exists in Trunks' timeline too? It's some sort of ultimate android, possibly stronger than any other androids they've seen so far. Without hesitation, they destroy it. And it's good that Trunks at least found out about this. So by now he's realized this isn't the same timeline that he's from. It's another one that he traveled to. So whatever he does here won't affect his timeline. They thank him for his help, but now Trunks is kind of in a weird spot. How is he supposed to go back to his timeline and defeat the androids? Well, they have a few solutions. Since Goku is still unconscious and can't tell everyone about the Room of Spirit and Time, Vegeta and Tarble decide to train Trunks up. They could do some gravity training, and on his way back they'll give some senzu beans to him. But he's going to have to do some really rigorous training if he wants to get strong enough in time to go back. So they begin going at it. And this is a nice opportunity for Trunks to actually get to know Tarble. And this gets Trunks thinking, is Tarble alive in the future timeline as well? Vegeta doesn't really want to get his hopes up, and he tells Trunks that Tarble could have died on planet Vegeta. But there is another possibility. He doesn't know how his father went about it in the future timeline, but Vegeta knows that his father was about to send Tarble somewhere else. So although he wasn't raised by Vegeta in that timeline, he could still be alive somewhere in space, but it would be really hard to find him. It's kind of a bummer for Trunks, but he'll keep it in mind. Tarble and Trunks warm up to each other. It's cool for Trunks to find out that he has a new family member, and he's pretty strong too and seems to be a good influence on Vegeta. About a week or two passes, and Trunks gotten a bit stronger but not too much. Gravity training for 2 weeks can only get you so far, even if he's injured in the training and getting some Zenkais. They'd rather be safe than sorry, so just in case, Bulma's gathered some data on the androids and created a self-destruct remote. Goku's also joined in the training by this point because he's already been cured, and he points out that Trunks has a noticeable increase in strength, even with the short training time. Trunks thanks his mom for the remote. He still does plan on fighting the androids because he feels that his strength might be enough to take on one of them at once. And if he could take out one, then he might be able to take out another at a later time. But it's good to have the remote as a fallback. In his timeline, he also has to try and find Cell before he's born. Hopefully it isn't too late. So Trunks returns to his timeline, thanking everyone and saying goodbye. Knowing Trunks, he's usually one who'd rather be safe than sorry. And even though it might feel like kind of a hollow victory, he ultimately decides he doesn't want to risk it and decides to just blow up the androids right there. This is the best outcome for him, just because it's guaranteed to work. He's also eventually able to hunt down Cell. By this point he might have already hatched, but it was probably so recent that Cell is really weak at this point, but still tough enough to face Trunks. And with that, he kills Cell. His timeline's finally safe, but there is one loose end, something that no one thought of. Yeah, Cell's dead in the present timeline and the future timeline, but there's another Cell, the Cell that we all know, the one that came from another timeline in order to get the androids. He's still around in the present timeline. He's been watching and his plans have been ruined. Still imperfect, he lurks about, not attacking now. The androids are dead, he has no escape back to his main timeline, and as of now he might not be strong enough, so he remains undercover, slowly absorbing people and animals that he finds. And over the 7-year time skip, Cell actually grows pretty strong. No one even knows he's here yet, and the thing is, he might not be able to achieve perfection, but over the course of years, absorbing people and animals will slowly boost his power. He remains dormant, still looking for the right time to strike. But eventually he's approached by someone. He doesn't know how he's been found, but this person promises that he's here for a partnership. He has an offer for Cell. The man introduces himself, a magician named Babidi, with an ally named Deborah. Babidi wants Cell to work with him, a servant of sorts, and in exchange, he can give Cell some great power. Cell's pretty iffy on this. The prospect of more power sounds cool, but he doesn't know if he can trust these guys. But during the conversation, Babidi reads Cell's mind, looking for what he desires. Perfection. Apparently he's programmed to have some sort of new transformation, but something is preventing him from getting it. Oh, so it's all mechanical nonsense. How primitive. That's nothing a little magic can't fix. So Babidi actually makes another offer. Alongside this power, he'll let Cell get his perfect form. Cell's surprised. He doesn't know how that's possible, but Babidi explains. Using magic, he can modify Cell and manifest the parts that he needs to become perfect. I mean, it's programmed within him, right? That seems like easy work for Babidi. Cell doesn't really want to oppose because this Deborah guy seems a little intimidating. And he has this offer of more power and his perfection, so a little reluctantly, he agrees. Over the 7 years, the Saiyans train and try and go above Super Saiyan. Following Vegeta's footsteps, they eventually are able to get Super Saiyan 2, although it takes a while for them to get it. Goten and Trunks are also born in this timeline, and Tarble remains single for now. If you have any suggestions for what you want to do with him, let me know in the comments below, but for the time being he's going to remain single. And with Goku still around, Gohan even continues his training. Vegeta's still ahead of everyone, but Gohan's actually catching up really quick. Just as Vegeta theorized, a hybrid Saiyan can grow a lot stronger, in less time, and it seems that's true. Although, no one's nearly as strong as they are in the original story. Without that Cell Saga training that they got originally, combined with the fact that they didn't find about Super Saiyan 2 until later on, they're a little behind. But the world's at peace right now, and even better, a tournament's coming up. It seems like a great opportunity for everyone, so they decide to join up. As for the roster this time around, a lot of the tournament remains the same, but there are a few changes. Spopovich and Yamu are there, but they're not possessed, they're actually normal fighters. And as for Shin and Kibito, they actually don't enter the tournament. They're spectating, trying to remain undercover. I mean, it's kinda hard when they look the way they do, but they try to remain stealthy. Without Spopovich and Yamu there, they don't know who the Majin servant is that's gonna try and steal energy. but they know that Babidi is planning to steal someone's energy here. Yamu replaces Kibito, and Tarble replaces Shin, and Spopovich replaces Spopovich. He's not going to be a psychopath this time. And thankfully enough, the tournament actually goes pretty smoothly. Someone is lurking about though, and they're waiting to strike at the right point. One of the first huge battles is Vegeta versus Goku, and as I've mentioned already in this part, Vegeta's the top dog around here. So he's probably going to win this fight, although it's going to be a very hard fought battle. And this is pretty early on in the tournament too. There's still some crazy fights ahead. One of the next crazy fights is Gohan, who's facing off against Tarble. And even though Gohan's pretty strong, Tarble is too. And this would be a really, and I mean really close battle. I feel like Gohan might have the advantage in power, but Tarble might have the advantage in terms of skill. And that might edge the fight in the favor of Tarble. It's really close, but Tarble takes the win. And that eventually leads to the finals of the tournament. Sadly, Mr. Satan didn't get too far because he had some sort of stomachache. So the final matchup is between Tarble and Vegeta, a battle between siblings. Both are waiting to see which brother is better. They pace themselves, starting in base, eventually going to Super Saiyan and then Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta's really impressed. He has a clear advantage in power, but Tarble's still holding his own pretty well. While before he was a little jealous of his brother, he's mostly just impressed now, and feeling proud about him. They've both come such a long way, and what better way to celebrate than an all-out fight? The two enjoy themselves. But then in the middle of the fight, Vegeta feels a sharp pain in his back, and immediately drops into base. Tarble's terrified, wondering what's happened, and they see behind Vegeta a long green tail stretching out, almost looking like a hose stretched along the ground. Within a split second, it jumped up in the air and stabbed Vegeta. Who did that? Shin and Kibito rush over to help, quickly introducing themselves. Tarble looks around for whoever just did that, while Vegeta gets healed. Not too long after, Goku points out someone leaving, and he's sensing this guy's energy. What is this? He senses Vegeta, Frieza, Piccolo, even himself, plus thousands, no, tens of thousands of other energies screaming out. This is no normal opponent. Tarble is fuming as Vegeta is healed, and chases after Cell. Shin and Kibito want everyone to wait, but since Tarble's already leaving, Goku and Vegeta follow suit, alongside Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin. So Shin and Kibito follow along. They arrive, and see the guy from the tournament, talking to 3 other people, Babidi, Deborah, and Pui Pui. Deborah points out that the group from the tournament followed them, and is about to strike, but Cell says that he wants to take over. He gives Babidi his energy, and then turns around, looking directly at the group. The group then makes out his face. From looks alone, this guy is terrifying, but then they begin to recognize him. From those blueprints that they found at the lab, Krillin points out, is that Cell? They killed him though, how could he get here? And something's not right either. On his forehead, he has the letter M. But one thing's not done yet. He turns back to Babidi, and says now that he held up his end of the deal, he wants what he was promised. That's easy enough. Babidi works his magic, literally, and Cell begins transforming. Even he and Deborah are a little scared at his new power. Cell immediately begins changing, even going past his semi-perfect form. Suspend your disbelief here, I don't really know if Babidi could do something like this, but it seems likely. Magic and Dragon Ball could do a lot of crazy things. Having it modify technology like Cell might not be that hard. The group watches in awe, as Cell's new form is revealed. Welcome to the Majin Cell saga. We'll leave off here for now. So what did you guys think about this part? With Majin Cell here, what do you think will happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit the like goal from the beginning of the video for another part. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.